Hi, welcome to Trailblazers, Stories You Should Hear. This is episode 1. I'm Jen.
And I'm Erin. We had an amazing email come in to us recently from a man named Russel, and he was sharing a family story to honor his daughter, but also his grandmother.
Yeah. And we read it and kind of blinked back a little bit, and I guess, we all have family histories, and they shape who we are. They shape who we become. They shape what we carry forward, and we pass on to our children and the world around us. And we think it's important to capture these stories, to be inspired by them, to hear them, to give notice to them. So we wanted to share Russell's email today. He's given us kind permission to do that.
To share his story. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to read it off my phone here. So he started by saying, "My dear old grandmother was born in 1897. In 1903, she immigrated from the US to Canada with her family, of course, and for much of the journey walked behind a covered wagon driving their cows. She was the eldest child in a family that would eventually number 14 children. She led a typical homesteader's life of hard work and little else. She had 7 children, one of whom died in World War II. She had teeth pulled sitting on the running board of a Ford Model A. She would have tell of having a rope strung between house and barn in the winter blizzards so you could feel your way home. She quilted, she baked, she preserved fruit and vegetables, she split wood, she fed threshing crews, and she smiled. She always smiled. When I was about 6, she had a radical mastectomy, and when I asked where she's been, she showed me her hideous scar. I will forever remember what she told me, that losing a breast didn't make her any less of a person, and that Grandpa still loved her as he always had. I have a daughter who has inherited her work ethic and her need to live life to its fullest. She seldom watches television because that's non-productive time. She is now 46 and has kept a personal journal since high school. She has had a boyfriend for 6 years, yet they both maintain separate homes. To do otherwise would mean giving up her independence and the little home and yard she loves. We taught her from her earliest years to be strong and independent, to think, to do. She plants little gardens in her yard in pots and trays and anywhere else something may grow. You'll see one potato plant in a corner of the backyard, a tomato hanging from the railing of the deck she built, peas strung along the fence, and she splits wood too. Whenever she needed something built or repaired and she asked me for help, I would show her how it should be done and then turn her loose. Seldom did I do something if she could be shown and given the tools to do it herself. There are times, of course, when she can't do something, and at those times she will phone in despair and usually crying at not being able to fix the knock in her engine herself. She has chosen a career path that took her into a man's world, and as a result finds it difficult to find employment, especially in today's hard economy. But she will. I could go on and on, but am, I assume, limited by space. In my humble opinion, God's greatest creation is woman, and a woman who stands up to be counted, who is independent and able, who is beautiful on the inside, is a woman to be loved and admired, and above all, respected."
Tearing
up.
Chokes me up again.
Yeah.
But we need to hear these stories. This province, this country is filled with women who often weren't mentioned in history. We can read about all the amazing things that men did, but women were there by their side or leading the way, being trailblazing in their own right. And so send us your stories if you have them too. We'd love to share them.
Yeah.
It's part of the thing that has meaning to us. So we'd love to hear more of what you have to say.
Absolutely. And just one more thing is that, stories from our grandparents, other generations before us, like the physical hardships that they went through, like that type of trailblazing and having a trailblazer life, that was hardcore. And if you've got stories from past, send them to us. But also, we're interested in modern trailblazers, like how Russell described his daughter. That's a modern trailblazer. We show up in our lives in different ways now because we have to, but it doesn't mean that it's not grueling and tough, but it's so worth it because we're living a life of passion and purpose, and we're doing what we know we need to do.
Yes.
So
within the freedoms and expression that we want to live. So that's also part of it. So
totally.
Yeah.
So remember, if you've got a story about a trailblazer from before, in the past, or a modern trailblazer, send us your story at info@prairiegirloutpost.com. And every week we're going to be featuring a new story, and we'd love to hear from you. So thanks.
Till next time.